TCLR returns with The Walking Dead on crack and keywords after a small break making these videos, which you should definitely check out by the way. But The Walking Dead New Frontier's name is fitting since this isn't your Lee's Walking Dead, as you'll see in this video after treating Kenny's legacy like a Matt Stoney Taco Bell post-game. Seriously, you'd be able to single-handedly defend the Somme and Passchendaele simultaneously with the amount of rapid-fire shitting they did on Kenny's Wellington legacy, the only canon ending of Season 2. But with the surprisingly solid first episode, they weren't too deep in their bag, mind you, but they were reaching the pencil case they left on the top. But how does episode 2 stack up? Let's go smoke some crack off the ashes of Prescott and play The Walking Dead New Frontier episode 2 on crack. Game starts. As always, leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy to not miss out on future content, and stick around to the end where I show all the results of this episode. We go to Before the Apocalypse, where I'm attempting to free Kate of misogynistic stereotypes, being a crasher unfortunately, but it seems David's claws are too deep inside of Kate to pry him out now. And for some reason, David doesn't want me around. Didn't you say you wanted me around more before? I'm crashing at their place since I got fired for something and can't even coach children's t-ball. What the hell did I do? A middle school?
I'll probably just travel around, you know, see what's out there.
Want to take me with you?
The Rizzler is at it yet again. Kate found it difficult to find her footing, being so wet you'd need a warning slip sign around her immediate area, and breaks a glass before cutting her hand. That was David's army glass. I can hear him already. I tell her to blame me since my cheeks have already undergone the trial of David's wrath.
Damn, you hit that nigga so hard to replay 3 different times.
Then they're pretty much iron defense right now. There's no way he's breaking through them. Is that a fungal infection? What the hell's that supposed to be? Blood? What the hell happened to your hand, Kate? This is unspoken Riz. We're looking at a clinic right here, a masterful demonstration by Javi. I pull away before David shows up. I'm not trying to go one-on-one with General DV, and he gets pissy over his mug, asking us to dig up his CO's grave so he can replace it, although I'm fairly certain it's just a ploy to get me into prison and save his failing marriage. Kate asks for an actual dishwasher, but David quips back, saying he's already got one. After that, though, Kate calls him a broke bitch in front of company. Nothing but seppuku can restore your honor when your wife calls you a broke bitch in front of company. They get to arguing, and I ain't a hero when David's fists start flying. My ass gonna be bye-bying.
Making my way downtown, walking fast.
He be in her ass, but I'm not Batman. They drag me into the argument as David goes, just look at him, he's judging. Menacingly. I back off before Kate gets the opportunity to tag me into this Royal Rumble showdown. That's the end of the flashback as I wake up in the present day to a flash bang that knocked me out, where I come to the realization Clem single-handedly urbaned her way through the remaining New Frontier, causing them to retreat. Now, I've heard a lot of complaining about the writing of this game, one of the criticisms being Clem would not be able to single-handedly push the New Frontier back. That is a complete bold-faced lie. I am surprised Clem didn't one-shot everybody the second they came within spitting distance of us. We actually take a few minutes respecting Mariana's death and go back to bury her. Clem thanks me for saving her life, even though I did nothing but warm the bench and fetch her water. I was barely on the team. All I did was throw back a flashbang while she dropped all of them. If this was League of Legends, I was playing Yumi support, doing absolutely nothing. I get the choice to bury her cassette player with Mariana. Yeah, no, I have to be on guard for Eminem's new album. Sorry, Mari. This ain't an ancient Egyptian's pharaoh burial where you just give him all his drip, wives, cats, and shit to take with him to the afterlife. You're gonna have to go with just those earbuds, Mari. I give a heartfelt speech as I shovel no more than 4 shovels worth of dirt, somehow completely burying her with just that. How much dirt is in each shovel? Man was using King Bach's spoon. But before I can continue my incessant whining, we hear a sound nearby, thinking it's the ops spinning again, finding out it's a member of the Purple Dragons turned Walker as I pop him. I realize the other guys had this same tattoo as Clem seems irritated. We learn that the group that's been riding my family's balls is called the New Frontier, and the whole brand is like an initiation thing meant to show one's undying love for the Soviet Union or something, as they consent to being branded like cattle. Clem says she was stuck at their camp as their prisoner by my god, I'll enter the game myself and kill these fuckers if they did what I think they did. They left one of their cars in their haste to avoid Clementine's wrath, and she says she'll take me back to Prescott before leaving. I beg her to stay to keep this story that's already hanging on by a thread at least somewhat comprehensible, but she refuses. I get to Prescott and Trip, who says Kate's about to FF15 despite Eleanor saying it's winnable. I make it to Kate as the love interest for all of 5 seconds in episode 1 gives me sass for not leaving with them, but I couldn't leave Clem behind. Gabe started off acting like he could handle helping with surgery, but it seems he can't shoot without the perk 30s as a few liters of blood was all it took to make him run away. She's still going through internal bleeding, however, the worst kind, and only has a matter of time before she reunites with Mariana. She tells me to go find Gabe. I start up a conversation with Trip, who says if I waited for him, things would have turned out different. Nah, this is Telltale, you wouldn't have mattered much. He says I should have waited longer while my family was being surrounded by walkers because he decided to imprison me in their camp. Of course you'd say that, you fuck.
Just know, I'm praying for you. All of you. And whatever happens, you all are welcome to stick around in Prescott, if that's what you want.
Like I was saying, what a great character, just like the average TCLR subscriber. What do former presidents say about becoming a TCLR subscriber? Trump, how big did your dick grow after clicking subscribe?
It's really gonna be big. It's not just big, it's huge.
Bush, what do you think of TCLR subscribers?
Weapons of mass destruction.
Biden, what do you say to people who don't want to subscribe?
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who? Bill Clinton, what has subscribing to TCLR given you?
Indeed, I did have a relationship.
That's right, by leaving a like and subscribing, you too can engage in the lucrative corruption of Washington, D.C., as well as have pecs so thick you'll be able to catch bullets with more effectiveness than Abe Lincoln's skull. And two, more importantly, not miss out on future content. I swipe some bottled water while I'm still here and try to find where Gabe is, speaking to Conrad.
Hey, have you seen a kid come through here?
Blood all over his hands. Dark look on his face.
Seeing demons, rapping along with King Von. He tells me where Gabe went, talking about how I have to be strong for Kate and how he would do the same for Francine if anything happened to her. It's a good thing that'll never come up, huh? I get to Gabe massacring a dead walker, showing him who's boss, hell yeah, as I hesitantly give him the music player, before he tells me he wants to go back and bury Mariana, but I tell him me and King Buck already took care of it. He laments at his lack of perks and how big of a pussy he is, and despite my words of encouragement, he lets me know he wants to be big and strong like his father was. But before we can game plan and figure out how many beers it takes to induce alcoholism, the new frontier is coming. Wait, where the hell are they running like Johnny Depp? I tell Gabe to ready Kate for evac as Clem shows up to the dismay of Conrad, but we need all the firepower we can get as they're packing a damn armored truck. That looks like it could get you safely across ISIS-controlled Iraq, rolling through every checkpoint, across every fortification to show him who's boss before getting you that same day shipping. As we get reacquainted with Harry and Marv's replacements for Home Alone 3. They claim I attacked his boys, and after a back and forth against that blasphemy, they want me to leave with them and answer for my war crimes, and everybody strap in and put down your crack pipe. This entire scene is a trip. I quickly respond, telling them they ain't getting shit since I'm fairly certain Trip and Conrad will give me up to save their community. You know, the average decision you'd expect out of them. Especially after I got arrested in episode 1 and finding out that we robbed and killed some of them, there's gonna be blood spilled. You really don't want your community a part of that. They add a cherry on top of the obvious sundae they're handing out to Trip and Conrad, bringing out the last remaining cowboy as a bargaining chip, evidently to Harry's dismay. I know he's still dealing with PTSD, so I tried telling him off, saying we got our wild card Kevin McAllister setting up the traps as we speak, but it seems even he's lost control of the situation. They cut off Francine's finger. Let's take a look at that instant replay, and yup, it seems a red card has been called, divine interference. That's a 30-yard penalty, cause where the hell did the finger go? This is really bad. No way they don't give me up at this point, right? I mean, they've already proved they're serious, and yes, finally Conrad is making sense. Begging me to go down there. Trip wants me to stay for whatever reason. Might I add, they have an armored truck, looking like it could carry all of Prescott's belongings out, including the airplane and all of the citizens. Clem quickly senses that Trip's neurons will be firing any moment now and says we gotta start blasting. You don't gotta tell me twice. Wait. Who the hell shot her? Did they possess telekinesis as well? How the hell did the bullet reach her? The war starts as I quickly locate and make do of the black guy in every horror film for an easy increase in morale. Alright, there's no lock on the gate for whatever reason. The Maginot was more effective in protecting people, but despite Harry's pleas, fearing Kevin is in there, they ran the gate anyways, dropping in the biological weapons before launching mustard gas on our location. And Trip seems to not care at all that I'm the damn reason these guys are tearing his home to shreds. The guys don't give up the strangers and lost their home because of it, and he's still willing to ally with me. It's flabbergasting. Now, I can't even lie, Javi goes stupid here, stabbing the walkers going behind the back after a walker mistakenly believes he dropped the soap. And after a few minutes of making Magic Johnson look like your average middle school basketball players, where I thought I was recording a Pornhub necrophiliac original, he finishes off the last walker. The car comes out of nowhere at Mach 11 at the most convenient time, and how nice of them to just walk out in the open, no cover. Hey, you might as well have come like your cause. And then Trip, still evidently allying with us over his hometown, tells us to meet up with him east, and best of all, Clementine, the girl they hate, gets a carpool from them. Despite the fact most residents need the help a lot more than her max stats in urban. They just leave all those people behind. The man dropped his home and people to help the newcomers who've been nothing but trouble. Lillian Carver would never. Those fuckheads would have dropped a little girl, popped her easy. Nothing but Lee's football field schlong keeping her safe for the last 2 seasons. And that was the intro. The only ties that bind anywhere near this episode is a prisoner's, as he's forced to view this sequence on repeat. I might wipe my ass with the Geneva suggestion, but forcing someone to go through this? It's just unconstitutional. My goodness, this entire sequence can pretty much be summed up with:
First, discombobulate. Dazed, discombobulate. Distract target. Discombobulate.
I thought season 2 had awful writing. Take me back, please. Don't leave me. We meet East as Joe from Family Guy reunites with his ex, and Conrad comes at me for firing into the attackers.
You're the one who opened fire. She's dead because of you.
Conrad? Easy, buddy. This wasn't his fault.
Yeah, it actually was. I tried telling him this is a Telltale game and Francine was dead either way. He steps up to me, however, not liking the disrespect until Gabe took his perks. I convinced Gabe to lower his strap as he tells Conrad, step up next time and I'll leave you like the scammer in your bar from last episode. Good thing my pseudo-child will never be in the opportunity to murder anyone ever again in this series in cold blood. Right, Clementine? Conrad can't take much more of this, collapsing like when you ask a communist to name a single successful communist state. We decide to go to Richmond, getting Conrad on board to get help and seek his revenge.
Hey, Gabe. Oh. Hey. You okay?
Huh. Maybe they'll hit it off.
Gabe? And Clem?
I just want to talk to him.
Why do you have a shotgun?
We begin our pilgrimage, as it's a good thing I zoinked that water from Prescott, and Kate, you did not get shot in the spleen, judging by this chart here and Eleanor's words earlier that you were shot above the stomach. You did not get anywhere near the spleen. It is the upper half of the left liver at best. You, ma'am, are a liar. She starts counting her reasons as I quickly move to stop her before she gets to 13 and thinks Gabe is turning into David or me. Is this a choose your own adventure book or something? Are Telltale's famous words finally gonna ring true? Eleanor, evidently pissed I'm taken, tries to speed up Kate's demise to swoop in. Although considering I did the same with David, I can't really blame her. Is this the revival of The Walking Dead's harem plotline?
Parents just love pretending the rest of us can't hear.
I wouldn't know.
We get to a bridge that's blocked off with Conrad thinking it's the proverbial washing machine to our stepsister before he and Clem drop the 2 walkers that snuck up on us. A quick convo with Trip telling me he's worried about Conrad, thinking he's gonna go all Kenny on us as I make my way to him and ask him what he's seeing, confirming our biggest fears, when he replies with red. I open a trunk and get a jumpstart cable as it seems Javi just shoves it up his famous Brazer's depth asshole or something. It's nowhere to be seen. As you can see here, even the game is imploring me not to play this episode any longer as it bugs out on me, forcing me to restart. I go up to Gabe, apologizing as I wasn't very familiar with his Riesling, giving him the eyes. I know, but who gives a shit about Gabe? I go up to Clem asking her what's wrong and my boy Kenny is mentioned, hallelujah. Even beyond the grave as Urban knows no bounds. I open a garage, evidently finding Dora's backpack in there, as after killing the lurking walker, I find the best tools for the current job, a pole car thingy and a wrench. Bioshock on crack Friday confirmed? And after using Tripp's car to jumpstart the tow truck, we pull the blocking car out of the way, and it seems we've run out of torches as zombies spawn right on top of us. David may have been part of the army, but Have must have trained in special forces as another action sequence beautifully sequenced, despite the fact we have to deal with stellar gameplay mashing the E button multiple times. Drive, woman! This isn't Iran! For some reason, I decide to make my case for the NFL draft instead of stabbing him, and our Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated vehicle is made obsolete as the walkers start to close their trap. This net forces us to make our way on the roof, and after blocking off the flanking forces, it seems Javi stops responding to my clicks and goes for the upper two walkers instead of the more immediate threat, leaving me stranded in... Oh my god, that was disgusting. My goodness, let's just say I only have 5 spare panties remaining. This isn't gonna keep up for much longer if they keep going this hard with the kill scenes. Conrad ends up saving me. Lily would never, as we somehow survive with no injuries despite our situation being as precarious as dropping the soap in a prison communal shower.
We have to come up with some kind of plan.
Oh, what a great idea. A plan. Who would have thought of that?
He tries stepping up, but I let him know he's gotta go through me.
You're gonna whoop me? You and what Homo parade? This one.
We find somebody peeking and taking cover as I try warning the sniper that we are in fact American before I start sneaking my way through, getting to he was a decoy. Hey Jesus. I tell him we're good people before telling him, hold on, let me do a handstand since I'm already talking out of my ass. After confirming we are in fact on our way to Richmond, he asks me if I'm with the Crips or Bloods. One wrong move and I'm dead then and there, so I feign ignorance. Quickly telling him I'm not a TCLR subscriber, and in his momentary lapse of shock, I swing around, fight him for the gun as Clem comes to back me up. Taking his guns as the boys surround his ass just in case Jesus is actually Himothy and can do sick karate moves. We ask if he's New Frontier and says he's just on his way to Richmond to make contact with friends after the New Frontier took over there, but we're all a little pessimistic as he was spying on us when he could have What? Wait a minute. What did you say?
The New Frontier? They took over Richmond?
Kate and Eleanor are headed right for their trap card. We gotta hustle.
We need to go. Now.
No fucking shit, we need to go.
I swear to God, they tried making Trip the Kenny replacement to give this game the dash of urbanness that it needs, but this is low quality, made in China by a 4-year-old who was sold by his parents for a few hundred yuan. Level of urban, he doesn't compare. This isn't even nostalgia, this is just a pointless line to make. Kenny would have said something like, Now, I was thinking we'd take a few minutes to enjoy the scenery, maybe compare our favorite
Vanilla Ice
albums. Jesus tells us he can guide us through an underground tunnel. Hold on, I thought that was Moses' job. Asking us to lower the guns. Conrad laughs and says we gotta tie him up, dress him in a skirt, some makeup, shave the beard, and it'll be just like Francine. Knowing him from the show, I quickly deduce he could probably bend us over backwards, recording a whole gangbang before slithering his way out of there. So I instruct them to lower the guns. We get another Clem flashback as her and AJ accidentally snitched on Robin Hood, who found out and is hunting them down. I break through and hole up in an abandoned RV as AJ starts crying, "Shut up, you tater-tot-looking motherfucker." Okay, this is actually adorable as hell. I'm sorry, AJ. Someone is at the door and lets herself in as me and Jada Smith block off the door and asks us if we live in this dump, since she presumes this is my son, and between my baby daddy pulling the Michael Jackson, not to mention my presumed heroin addiction. That was as good as a guess as any. I tell her our lore and she invites us to join her group where they have food, water, and big titty goth girlfriends, as I quickly jump at the opportunity and tell her to lead the way, finding out they call themselves, now you won't believe this, the New Frontier. After this riveting prequel, Clem tells me she was one of the ops before switching sides, breaking my trust in her as I will forever struggle to side with her ever again. Nah, I'm just kidding. It looks like I'm part of the New Frontier now. It can't be helped. Although she says she's shed that chapter of her life and is going to escape the second we get out of this tunnel. We get to a tunnel where there's no lighting whatsoever, and we are completely surrounded. Well, it seems we don't carry the next Napoleon in our party. With our complete lack of strategic know-how, as we have to fight our way out as Gabe gets into a dangerous situation, but Jesus boots up the mirror's edge, letting us know he allowed us to capture him. Now who wants wine? I just saw a puddle just back there where... Conrad, you idiot, if that shotgun had an ooh-woo sound effect upgrade, we'd be getting surrounded by every pedophile in the state within minutes. We somehow find an opening and make our way through to a boxcar, trapping us between that and the herd, but it just opens, so it really doesn't matter. Me, Clem, and Gabe tag team up to block off the doors. I find a rusty pipe, blocking off the walkers, and as Connor heard every word of what Clem said before. Conrad grabs her, and before I can annihilate my PC and whoever voice acted Conrad, she rolls up her sleeve, revealing her controversial ice. Conrad says we can bring her in and use her as a bargaining chip as Gabe films his audition for the next generic Disney Channel teen sitcom. Already got the outfit down pat. Conrad takes Clem's little boyfriend hostage and I'm left with a choice. Take Clem's side or shoot Okay, come on now. Gabe starts complaining. Yeah, listen here, you little shit. You told me to shoot. I don't know what the fuck you wanted me to do. But this gave me an idea. At the risk of getting crucified by my viewer base, I decide to reload and take Clem hostage. Let me explain. Nothing's gonna happen to her. It's Telltale, and after what they did to Nick and Alvin in Season 2, who lost their ability to communicate after their determinate deaths, I want to see if they fix the issue in Season 3. I don't remember much about Season 3. I've only watched a Let's Play of it once. Also, let's be honest, nothing's gonna happen to Clementine. Gabe calls me a fucking coward. That's fair. I'm sure half the comment section agrees with you. Let's go. We let the gang know as Jesus admits it would be a powerful bargaining chip, and we make our way to the front gates despite no patrols or nothing. It's more barren than my messages after I wake up in the morning. 0! We find the car with Kate and Eleanor, but just Kate, and after a momentary embrace, she asks me for some marijuana? How could you, Kate? She tells us Eleanor finished the voyage without her, and we decide it's time to go plead our case, making our way to New Richmond. And I love Jesus. Man knows things might get dicey and still rolls with us. No KFC finger-licking good family bucket's gonna make him snitch on anybody. He was in the convenience store that got shot up, 50 casualties, 34 deaths, 20 of them children. He didn't see nothing. He was too busy getting the milk. We come up to the gate as Harry has the advantage in his home invasion this time, and we bring in Clem as a bargaining chip to their delight. The next scene was worth the betrayal.
How long's it been?
Not long enough.
Cute.
I give a spiel about how she's our friend, and this doesn't sit right with me, sounding like a politician expressing the woes of the poor poorly in an attempt to win an election. You see, I too was working poor jobs before I was blessed, like being a lawyer, a congressman, and one time I was even forced to skip out on breakfast as my chef called in sick. Harry is confused as there's no guideline to how to deal with enemies that escaped that now come to surrender in front of your gate, so he asks for the boss. He asks us to lower our weapons. What's next? Shall I bend over for you too? Perhaps get the lube and butt plug ready while we wait? Afterwards, the big bad boss walks in as David. Check out my other videos down below in the pinned comment, and as always, leave a like and subscribe to not miss out on future content. I, for one, cannot wait till next week where I can tell David, yup, that man right over there killed your daughter. Yeah, him right there. I know it for sure. Here are the results of the entire episode. It seems 60% of the population engages in premarital sympatry. Most players had the same idea as me and opened fire before Trip could really think. 86% of us have seen the show, and I'm about to be found dead in a ditch under a bridge in the coming weeks. And I realize 96% of the viewer base are potential customers for a bridge I'm selling near the Golden Gate area. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.